Hey everyone, Caront here, welcoming you back to Tales of the Abyss. In the last episode, we went after Gelda Nebulum in Nebulum's Crag, defeated her after a pitched battle, and unlocked the power of the Nebulum weapons. Unfortunately, they're not as strong as the weapons we have right now, so I'm not going to be using them for the final battle. In this episode, it's the final battle against Van. And I want to go over setup real quick. It's pretty much going to be normal for the most part. I'm going to keep Annis in, because she has Ant Lion Man, which makes her pretty much, you don't need to worry about even doing anything with her. Other than that though, Luke's got the Force Ring still. I think I like that over the 1% HP restoration in hindsight, because the 20% physical reduction is a lot better in terms of keeping him upright. We're not going to need to worry about that as much with Van as we would with Nebulum, but still, it's a good thing to have. Got the Fairy Ring on Tyr and the Emerald Ring on Jade, as I do normally. I did go ahead and update everybody's armor and such to make sure they had the best stuff they could get. So we should be pretty good to go. Let me make sure. I want to make sure the difficulty is back on. Okay, there we go. Make sure to set it back on hard for this, because even though I did change the Nebulum battle over to normal, I want to finish this on hard mode, because that's how I've played most of the game. So, alright, without further ado, let's go ahead.
I feel a really scary power ahead.
Yeah, even I can feel it. Master Van is here. Once we go past this point, we probably can't come back.
There's no need to come back. We're going to defeat Van and put an end to everything.
You make it sound so simple.
It is. They believe that the planet's memory sets the future in stone, so they seek to erase it. We believe that the planet's memory is but one of infinite choices, that the future can be changed. I'm not particularly fond of this word, but our faith is simply different. We've reached a point where the matter cannot be resolved with words.
Yes, Van has Lorelei inside himself. If Lorelei perishes, the world will attempt to recover seventh phonons, destroying their balance. Luke, we've come here to stop that. It's not like the last time. We understand what Van is trying to do, and we cannot accept it.
Yeah, it's irresponsible to just erase everything and start all over again. If we were going to follow the score and die, it would be people's responsibility to accept that. But we realized along the way that we could work together to avoid that. So we're going to live our lives. We're going to walk our own path. We're going to shove the Commandant's ideas up his ass.
Oh, one of my favorite lines in this, and one of the reasons I didn't want to do this before the finale.
Luke, I kept thinking about you and Ash. I wish that Ash would come back to Kimlaska and support Father, together with you. But I was wrong. You and Ash each had your own path. I'd been trying to tie both of you down with a promise that was no longer valid. Ash is inside you now. In the past, I might have mixed you and Ash together in my mind. But you're you. So please, live the way you want to live. I'll do everything in my power to support you so you can do that. As your childhood friend.
You've barely begun to be you, and you bear the weight of countless lives. You have to live enough to make up for the lives you've consumed.
Yeah, just 7 years, and I'm covered in blood.
What I'm saying is cruel. Live and keep living. The whole time carrying the weight of that malice, hatred, grief, and anger. But I won't let you carry it alone. I'm the same as you. Even if the whole world rejected you, I'd still be here, by your side. I'm not like the 6 God Generals. I'm going to help you by staying alive.
Luke, let's go. So we can rewrite Van's future with our own.
Yeah.
Alright, well, there's not really much else to be said. Let's go.
I'm impressed. I expected Ash.
Ash is here too. He's inside me, lending me his strength.
Second-order hyperresonance. You've surpassed your original. You are now a true human being. You've stepped across a sea of corpses and made it here. Now, join me, Luke. We will destroy the planet's memory and overturn the score of final judgment.
No.
Well, well. Why not?
I finally understand what it is I wanted. I wanted you to acknowledge me, to accept me as a human being, not a replica.
Yes, and you have become a human being.
But that's not enough. You said to me, can you not live unless you were born for some purpose? I'm not living for anyone else. There's no special meaning in living. When I sensed my own death, I wanted to live. I know now. That's all I needed. So, I don't need you anymore. It doesn't matter if you accept me or not. Here I am, alive!
You've acquired some impudent wisdom.
Van, people can change, just as Luke has. Reconsider one more time. The planet's memory may exist just as you say, but is it really absolute? Luke isn't here because it's written. He's here because he chooses to be. The planet's memory is one possible choice for a future, but only people make that choice.
That isn't absolute either. You might not be choosing, but rather being made to choose.
If so, maybe you're being made to choose to destroy the planet's memory. If you say you've decided to erase the planet's memory of your own will, then that itself is proof that the planet's memory isn't absolute.
That's an empty argument. Yulia's score represents the planet's memory I speak of. The destruction of mankind is written in it. The destruction of the planet's memory is not.
So you will carry out that destruction with the originals, then create a replica world. That's no different than those who let Hod be destroyed. That's why Ash rejected you. Didn't you resent the destruction of Hod and despise those who caused it?
I did. But I must do whatever it takes to destroy the absolute path of the planet's memory.
It's strange to hear that from such a wise man. People and planets all eventually die. Regardless of whether the planet has a memory or not, that alone is guaranteed. Even if the absolute path you speak of exists, people have the right to choose their own path to destruction.
Fitting words for a necromancer. Everything dies. It's merely a matter of time. But the planet's memory calls for it too soon. I cannot accept perishing early the way you can.
But you're trying to destroy the originals even earlier than the planet's memory. You hate the score so much, you're shackled to it more than anyone else.
Perhaps so. No, all of us are bound to the future we call the score.
We believe we can choose our future.
I know the future is predetermined. As I thought. It would seem we cannot see eye to eye. Draw your weapons. I'll take you all on at once!
Van, prepare!
And thus begins the final battle with Van. I do have to say, one thing that is noteworthy, if you are equipping the Nebulum weapon, I've always found it to be a cool effect. Whenever Luke draws his sword, and you, of course, just saw the sword there, it actually pulses as the screen's loading up. It's a really nifty way to look at it. Alright, Van in hard mode, you notice, is still not as tough as Nebulum, so I wouldn't be too torn up about going after him. You don't really have to worry about stealing anything from him. I think he does have something to steal, but it's certainly not anything nearly as good as the Tootie, so I wouldn't be too particularly torn up about it. Now, of course, obviously, Van is a phonist, so you'll want to be careful in regards to his spell reaches as well as his attacks. But again, if you've beaten Nebulum, this should not be that hard. I mean, you notice we're already down about 40,000 HP. Oh, crap. Well, that was a little rough on me. I was sitting there trying to guard it, and it didn't quite work out. They, uh-oh. Okay, no, that's Jade's attack. Good. But you notice I was trying to guard it. Oh, God.
I'll destroy Imperial Slaughter!
Ah, good. I got out of the way in time. All right, let's go ahead and start whacking on him when he comes back. You notice another thing, though, is... Oh, okay. I thought I died for a second. I'm like, wait a freaking second! But you notice, though... Oh, God, I don't even remember what I was going to mention. Oh, yeah, you notice Van's a lot easier to stagger than previously, or certainly than Nebulum.
The phonic hymns. Their melody will indeed awaken Lorelei. But you don't know the true wish contained in those hymns. They won't work on me.
No, brother. I do know. I can feel the thoughts and emotions Yulia placed in these hymns.
If that's true, Mysterica, then sing. Now, for me.
And round 2, in which he is at half health. Well, sort of round 2, I guess. But like I mentioned earlier, he is a lot easier to stagger than Nebulum is, so you'll definitely want to take advantage of that in terms of linking together good combos. I'm going to duck in there to steal some healing for myself. Okay, that has a wider reach than I thought it would. And we're all almost dead. Wow. I think that must be a full screen range then. Okay, Annis, well, let's see. I've got those specifics for a reason, so go ahead and use them, please. Oh, God, okay. Tyr's going to resurrect, so I'm going to have to lean on... Oh, dadgummit. Alright, come on. There we go. That should bring me back. Okay. And that's going to take out Tyr, so yeah. I just need to run from this. Okay. I'm not really overly worried about this, to be honest.
Watch yourself.
I mean, yeah, I am... Shut up, Tyr! Because... Uh-oh. That's going to take Tyr out. I don't think I'm going to be able to get the healing in time. No, shoot. Oh, well. But yeah, I'm not overly worried, really, about this. It just happened to be that one sort of uber boss attack that took me down and made things difficult. Other than that, though, I don't really... Okay. Quit using those dang attacks, you silly goof. Okay, I think this is worth using a miracle. There we go, good. Okay, good. Kite me. Give some time for her to do some resurrecting. That should bring Annis back.
Return this soul from the abyss of death.
Uh-oh. Run. Let's see. Let me do an apple gel on Annis since she's about to take that attack. Okay, now we should be good to go. Yeah, let's go ahead and start wailing on him again. And we should be in decent shape now.
Let's finish this!
Alright, 42 grand. Yeah, we're not in bad shape. Alright, just gotta get out of his way. Yeah. Because, like you notice, he starts kind of getting spam happy with the Mystic Arts and such. Alright, yeah. I'm not doing too bad. I just need to... Okay, that's going to hit Jade. Let me heal him just in case. There we go. And then, of course, be careful with the attacks. Okay. And that's going to hit both of them. Oh, Lord. Okay, well, clearly. No, of course it's not good. Miracle for you. And then let her go ahead and bring Annis back. Alright, we're down to 24 grand, so yeah, we're not doing too badly for ourselves. I mean, with the just sheer... I still don't know why she cast 2 resurrections at the one time. I don't really get it.
Guard me while I'm testing.
Yes, I know, we will.
No,
Song of Angels.
not yet.
Die!
Too slow. Have you forgotten? I'm the one who taught you the sword.
Release Lorelei!
You've grown strong.
Van,
To think you could push me this far. It seems I have no choice but to unleash this terrible power within me.
So, he's finally used it. But I will be victorious!
You're strong, but I won't lose.
You have strong allies, Luke.
they've supported me through everything. For their sake, I can't lose. No, for my own existence, I will not lose!
When you use Lorelei's power, your control over Lorelei weakens. Luke recognized that and forced you to use it. The same Luke you refused to acknowledge for so long. Luke will not... No, we will not lose!
I commend you for making me use this power. I would expect no less from my student. But that, too, ends now. Goodbye. Luke!
I'm not done yet.
Now we have the real final battle. Okay, so... yeah, let's go ahead and get your stats up here.
Here!
Alright, obviously stronger in every way, so you'll definitely want to be prepared accordingly. And the first thing I will want to do is whenever my items turn off, or turn back on, there we go. First thing I'll want to do is definitely heal Tyr. Okay, let me use the last lemon gel here.
Thank you.
There we go. Alright, now of course he starts out in over limit, so he's basically being a wuss. So be careful. Wait until he goes off of over limit to start going after him. Like so. Okay, that's gonna hit. Alright, not me. It's gonna hit Tyr. Alright. Now, fortunately though, he is just as easy to stagger as before, so it's not as big of a deal to try to go after him. Alright, I gotta run. Yep. There we go, good. Oh, dang it, it still pulled off the attack. Oh god, Tyr's dead. We need to fix that. I didn't even notice she died. There we go. Okay. Alright, let's see. Well, all I can really do is give TP back now. Nobody particularly needs it. Alright, let me go ahead actually and use a treat, I think, to go ahead and get that back. And then, once that goes down, now let me use a specific for HP. There we go. Whoops. Oh man, barely got out of the way of that. You notice he really likes that Radiant Dragon line attack. But fortunately, that's also fairly easy to avoid. Guardian Frost, okay good, nobody's around him anyway. How did that still hit me? That's a little curious. Move! Okay, oh come on. Alright, fine then. Come on back, Tyr. Oh shoot, I can't even see how much HP he's got left. Wow, 2 Foth changes in the same moment, and then he goes over limit on us. Great. Oh god.
Farewell, ancient Requiem!
Hey, good job on that attack. You missed everybody. Alright. And that also took him out of over limit too, so good. Alright, let me give a moment for him to get over the I'm on the ground buff. There we go. Oh, I think I might have just missed him too. Huh. No, maybe not. Ha! Yeah, there you go. Cuss at me, Van. Alright, run away. Ah, Jesus. I ran right into it, too. That's bad. Tyr, could you bring me back, please? What? Really? Well, fine then. Annis, you revive me.
You okay?
Thanks for the
Thank
help.
you. Okay.
Bursting with phonons.
Alright, and now... Alright, he's just dropping party members right and left now. Tyr, you need to come back next, please. Because Annis will fairly be able to take care of herself, but not as well as she should. Okay, that's another item. I'll have to start going with the miracles now. Alright, Miracle, I'm gonna Miracle Tyr first, and then Kite with myself. Good, alright. That gives time for Jade to come back. Gives time for me to heal myself with said Miracle.
Return this soul from the
There we
abyss
go.
of death.
Okay.
I'm in trouble here.
Take this.
Ah, that should not have hit, but oh well. Alright, let's see. I'm not really going to be able to do anything in time.
Sorry,
Let's see, who's that hitting? That's going to hit Jade, probably. And I'm not worried about him. I'm more worried about Annis. Okay, 107,000. We're not doing too badly for ourselves. Okay, Judgment is a random sort of pseudo AoE, so I'm not too worried about that. Alright, let me Miracle Annis. Just in case. And it turned out to be a good thing I did. Okay, good. It gave time for Revitalize to hit. Nice. Alright, 88,000. Yeah, we ain't doing too bad. I'm not worried, really. Because we are very well leveled. So, yeah, we're well leveled. We've gone through the Nebulum fight. Van's a lot easier to stagger. So, yeah, I'm not too worried. Granted, he just went over limit, so he's going to kind of go into big boss mode for the moment. Like that. But as long as... Really? You just took Jade out in pretty much one shot. Alright. Well, alright then. Let's bring you back.
Sorry for the trouble.
Okay. Oh god, that's gonna hit me. Run! Woo! Just in time, too. Wow, okay. That brought... Wow. Nice timing on that attack. Let's see. Jade, I gotta heal you. There we go. And good. Perfect timing on that, too. Nice. Alright, 55 grand. Yeah, we're doing alright. I need to move. There we go. Good, I got out of the way. Nope. No party for you. Sorry. Oh, would you... See, I find it nice, or... Okay, I'm being ironic. That right when we managed to stagger him, he had just gotten his spells off. I find that to be a little ironic. Oh god. Wow, a Judgment actually hit me. Okay. Alright, well... Yeah, can I get healed? Let's see. I'll just go ahead and Miracle myself. I mean, it's not that big a deal, really. There we go. Okay, Radiant Dragon. Oh, boo. Fine, you're gonna be jerk. Okay, specific for everybody. There we go. Blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't particularly care. And he's out of overlimit already, you notice. Oh, come on, really? I was sitting there ready to wail on him, and then I get smacked by a random Judgment. Goring, wow, that looks interesting. Okay, hadn't seen that in a while. Tyr, would you quit casting double resurrections? That makes no sense. Ah, boo. And Jade's dead again. Okay, well, that's probably going to resurrect. Let me give Tyr more TP here. But you notice he kind of goes into old super boss mode when he's at low health. I mean, again, nothing that I'm too terribly worried about, especially if we start dealing damage like we should. Okay. Well, he might be able to kill him in over limit, although I don't want to count on that.
Sorry for the trouble.
Let's see. Nah, I don't think so. As much as he's hitting, Annis. Go ahead and bring her back here.
Watch yourself.
Just because. Oh, there we go.
What is this power?
Lorelei is going out of control within Van. It's drawing in our phonons. At this rate, our life itself will be drained.
No!
Luke, the second order hyperresonance. It can neutralize any phonon.
I'm going to free Lorelei. Tyr, help me!
Right.
Okay, now that the song's finished up, I can go ahead and talk. This is, if you've got to this point, you've won the game. Don't worry about any damage that he does. Don't worry about any attacks that he does. Don't worry about any spells that he casts. You're done. Just pretty much wail on him until the song finishes up, and then that's it. So, yeah, this is pretty much just, I think, a reason to get the song in and a way to go ahead and finish out the game. So, yeah. One thing I will say is my apologies on the FPS slowdown here. I think because of the background combined with the song going on, it's slowing it down a little bit. So that's why you may be hearing those crackles.
The seventh melody. You've learned it, Tyr.
I remembered. You sang it to me while I cried. You knew what the phonic hymn meant. You were telling me everything, right from the start. Thank you, Van.
Farewell, Mysterica.
Master Van!
Stop! After all that's happened, you still call me Master. You fool. Forgive me, my brethren.
Master Van! Thank you!
Goodbye, my beloved brother.
I will note the voice stuff here is driving itself. So if it seems a little fast, that would be why.
All right. Everybody hurry up and escape. I'll stay here and free Lorelei.
Luke!
It's my promise to Lorelei. This is what I need to do. Jade?
Luke, how you've changed.
I was really bad, wasn't I?
But no matter how much you change or regret your actions, not all of what you've done will be forgiven. And that's why you must come back alive. Rather, I hope you do.
Jade, shut up.
Sorry.
I'll be waiting. It's lonely being a servant without a master.
Hey, you're not my servant anymore.
So I'm not a servant in the manor. I'd still serve as your friend.
You're being stupid.
So hurry back home. I'll never forgive you if you just disappear.
You knew, huh?
When you come home, I'm gonna teach you not to hide things from your friends.
Annis?
I knew too. I wasn't as sure as Guy, but
What are you talking about?
you're an easy read. But I have to have you come back alive.
You're not expecting me to... We're not...
No. I'm going to reform the Order for Ion. But in order to do that, I need a patron. So, come home.
Whatever.
Luke, live. Please. I don't want to lose any more people dear to me.
Natalia.
Not to protect Kimlaska. To live your life. Understand?
I wanted to live.
You will. You cannot disappear. You cannot.
Thanks.
Master!
Your job's done now. Go home and be proud of what you did.
I'll be waiting for your return, Master!
Thanks.
Come home.
Tear.
You have to come home. You have to. I'll be waiting. Always.
I will. I promise. I'll come home.
Luke, I love you.
Tear!
So the world did not vanish. To think the future I saw would be rewritten. You have done admirably.
And thus is Tales of the Abyss. The story, anyway. We've got a little bit more after this. Okay, thoughts on the game in general. I like the game. Obviously I would, otherwise I wouldn't let's play it. As far as how this game ranks in terms of the Tales games that I've played, I would say it's probably a little bit in the upper reaches. The last Tales game I played actually was Vesperia, so I'm not really up on the modern Tales games like Xillia and Zestiria, and then some others that have come out between now and then. But I like this one. I think the free run system really made this game innovative in regards to how Tales combat went. Because of course Tales combat has always been more action RPG oriented, and the free run system really adds a whole new dimension to it, literally and figuratively. Because of that, the battles obviously have a lot more strategy and a lot more complexity to them, and I think you saw that as we went through. In regards to other elements in the game, I think the story is fairly good. I wouldn't say it's great, but I think it's fairly good. I like how the story is sort of an intermixing of a few different themes. It's obviously fate versus free will is a huge component to it. You also have the idea of Luke being a replica or a clone, and how not just you go through Luke's identity and Luke trying to find an identity, but you also go through the idea of identity in the first place. Do clones have souls, for instance? The game resoundingly says yes. Are clones independent entities? And the game is pretty resounding in saying yes if you allow yourself to be. And then how would those replicas or clones be accepted in society? Well, it kind of depends. Depends on who's accepting or who's not accepting. Depends on what circumstances, and etc. So I think that is an interesting twist as well. As for the characterization of the game, I think the characters were fairly well done. Luke, I think, was pretty well done, although he takes a lot of getting used to. He's not the most likable Tales protagonist to start out with, and I think that's made the approach to Tales of the Abyss rather rough, because it takes a while before you actually like Luke. But Guy's pretty good. I mean, he's easy to like. Tyr is fairly easy to like after she kind of gets over herself a little bit. Jade is your sardonic mage, so what's not to like about him? I think the weakest character out of the 6 is Natalia, because much of her storyline, especially the whole she's an adopted princess storyline, was really just felt shoehorned in to me. I wish they had integrated that a little bit better, and I wish it hadn't just been, oh, there's no more story for now? Hey, Natalia! Sort of deal. That's what it felt like to me. As far as the music, I like the music. I especially liked a couple of the overworld themes, the first and last one. I liked the first battle theme, and I liked the battle theme against the cameo characters in the Colosseum. It's really good too. And yes, of course, we can't forget Ash when we're looking at characters. Alright, so now we've got the song that Tyr was singing in the finale. Okay, so the sound is good. I think the whole Hymn of the Faith is a little put upon. It makes more sense now once you hear it all together, but in other lights, maybe not so much. Overall, this is a pretty good Tales game. It's not the best I've ever played, but it's pretty good, and I will shut up because, well, now we have this scene.
You didn't come. I believe your presence was requested at Luke's coming-of-age ceremony at the Duke's Manor.
I'm not interested in some ceremony in front of Luke's grave.
That's why the both of you came here, isn't it?
He said he'd be back, so let the others sit around and tell stories at his grave. But I won't be joining them.
We should be heading back soon. The valley is dangerous at night.
Why are you here?
This place has a nice view of Hod. And also, I promised someone.
Alright, so we are done with the story. And of course, we get to save clear data at the end because, as I mentioned, there is New Game Plus, and we will be doing a little bit of that. I will be doing, first off, a couple of videos on the post-game content that opens up after you do a clear save, which is the final dungeon of the game. We haven't explored it yet. Then I'll be doing a video about how to get ready for a good New Game Plus, or an ideal, optimal New Game Plus, I guess. And then we'll take it from there. Alright, I think this would take us back to the title screen from here, so I'm going to go ahead and close things off. Thank you guys for joining me throughout this Let's Play. Your support, you guys viewing it, leaving comments and such, is obviously the bread and butter of any Let's Player, so I do appreciate it. I hope you guys will continue to do so. We've got another week of videos for Tales of the Abyss, with the 2 videos for the new dungeon and the last video for New Game Plus, and then we are going to move on to Final Fantasy Tactics. So, as always, thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see y'all later.